Now finally, we are officially here. As after all the drama, crash outs, and attempts to try and ruin what is about to be one of the greatest and most important moments in all of hip-hop history, we are now right on the verge of witnessing Kendrick Lamar perform on the biggest stage that a rapper has ever been on. And now with the run of stuff Kendrick has been doing leading up to the Super Bowl this week, from his interview with Ebro and Nadeska to his conversation with Timothée Chalamet, with all that has been leading up to this one-of-a-kind performance, it is now clear that for Drake, OVO, Big Ac, Maul, and all of the other people who have been trying to take away this moment from Kendrick and sabotage it, that they are officially out of options, and all of the desperate measures they have taken have more than failed, including what Drake just did right before the big game. But now, before we go any further into the final and most laughable thing Drake and OVO tried to do to take down Kendrick, and if you can't wait to see what the halftime show is about to have in store, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And so now, with this entire moment that we are at, right during Super Bowl weekend where everything has been ramping up, and of course Kendrick has been outside and speaking to us more than we have seen in a very long time, and more than we have since this entire beef. As the conversation about what this halftime show is going to feature has built, and it even came out from the NFL themselves that they said Kendrick can do whatever he wants during it, it became very clear that no matter what paperwork Drake sent out and what claims he tried to put out to the world in order to smear Kendrick's name and scare the NFL and everyone involved in the Super Bowl from associating with him, that nothing has stopped the best rapper in the world from bringing hip-hop to this entire new level. And seemingly because of this, and with all of the history that Kendrick is about to make, Drake, OVO, Ac, and all the weird stans who are infatuated with the biggest loser in rap music decided to put their efforts together and make one last play to ruin the Super Bowl for Kendrick and damper this moment. And now seemingly what they did was approach taking down Kendrick from a completely different angle, as after all the lies and strange claims they have been making leading up to this moment, Team Drake decided to do something that they never have before, which was to put out reports and stories that were circulating information about the fact that they knew what Kendrick's entire performance would be. And as a result of this, they were sharing the set list and apparent audios of the performance and all of these other details of what Kendrick apparently had planned. And with this, while there is no point in going into the specifics of what have been circulating and what it has been saying, as most sources in the industry have been saying it's fake despite what Drake supporters like Ac have been trying to push, what does matter is that with the release of info, which at the end of the day, at the very worst, if these reports were true, would be telling people just how legendary and groundbreaking Kendrick's performance is gonna be. The whole world of people backing Drake thought they had Kendrick with this, as by putting these reports out, they felt like they just flat out ruined the Super Bowl and the surprise of what we are all gonna see. And even more disgusting about this entire situation, and again, what just shows how desperate these people are, is that from people ranging from Ac to OVO, they were all trying to use this info that is seemingly fake, and say that because the NFL has allowed a rapper and hip-hop to be at the center of the Super Bowl, that now information is coming out that is never supposed to, and now all of these problems are happening because of it. And really, with this trying to be the narrative and story that they were pushing to make not just Kendrick, but all of hip-hop look bad for that matter, first off, with this whole narrative that they were trying to push that is saying that the problem with hip-hop and rappers are that they are not able to keep their performances under wraps, in of itself just shows how this corner of people who support Drake just despise hip-hop and want it to fail because their guy lost, which is just so weird. But now beyond this, with this entire pathetic narrative and story that Drake and his crew were pushing to try and ruin this moment that we have all been waiting for, and yet the more it was reported, nobody seemed to care or get upset, and if anything, because of how ridiculous some of the information they put out was, people ended up just laughing at them entirely. Overall, with this last story and moment, which was supposed to ruin the entire Super Bowl halftime show and Kendrick's moment, but of course did not, this is the end of an era, and for Drake as a whole, he has now seen the clock that he has been trying to turn off before it's too late reach zero, as after all of the ridiculous things he has done to try and step on this moment, and of course, prevent and stop Not Like Us from playing on this stage, all of his pathetic measures have failed, and now he is out of options to save him. And of course, because of this, he is going to have to face the reality of hearing the diss track that ended his career be played to an even bigger audience than any other rapper has ever gotten in front of. And I mean, in a way, with this entire Super Bowl halftime show, this downfall we are seeing from Drake and the level of failure he has reached is really the perfect full circle moment for this entire chapter in hip-hop, because as all of this started when Drake and J. Cole were saying that they were big as the Super Bowl, and of course that's what caused Kendrick to start this beef and ultimately reach the point we are at now. Well, I mean, for Drake, the lesson he's should be learning is that words you put into your raps are powerful, and while there are so many sad excuses of MCs today that when they get dissed or somebody makes a claim like Drake did with Cole, nobody will care enough to respond or they are just scared of beef altogether, for real rappers who embody what hip-hop stands for, like Kendrick, they will challenge what you are saying, and ultimately, like we are seeing in this very moment, if you say something that you can't back up, it can be used against you, and we are about to see the full manifestation of that. And so with this entire moment being right here and Drake and anybody else having no chance to stop it, we can finally say it in full. This is just such a victory, and it's truly mind-boggling that we are about to see Kendrick do a halftime show where he told us that what we can expect over everything is storytelling. Because when we try to speculate on what Kendrick has coming because of those claims Drake and his guys put out told us nothing, with Kendrick promising storytelling over everything else, it really sounds like he is going to just redefine and reshape what a Super Bowl halftime show can look like. Because I'm sure with this being the word he's using to describe what's to come, just like in Kendrick's own music, and especially with a record like GNX, we are going to see the flash and spectacle that all superstar musicians have, but with a level of integrity and significance that most big names in music can never manage to capture. And with there also being reports that Kendrick is going to have a big surprise at the halftime show as well, overall, while obviously this is so open-ended and could mean so many different things, I think we are going to see some big names join him on stage, not to perform their own songs or to take away from his moment specifically, but either to perform collabs and features they have on songs with Kendrick and once again add to that excitement and storytelling, which is something we know SZA is going to be taking part of for sure. But I think beyond this, on the side of TDE and where Kendrick is from, we very well could end up seeing people like Baby Keem, J-Rock, Absol, and Schoolboy Q, or maybe even Doechii, on part of the stage or in some point of the halftime show, although I don't think any of them will get a song or even perform a feature, but just knowing the type of person Kendrick is, like when he had Absol come out at the Pop Out concert, for example, these names have been so defining in his come up, and he wants these people to be right alongside him when he's having such a massive moment. But now beyond the people who could symbolize just how far Kendrick has made it when you really understand his entire journey, when it comes to bigger names who could turn everyone's head, there is a lot of different acts that Kendrick could possibly bring out. And I do think we are bound to see at least one other superstar here, whether that's maybe The Weeknd, maybe Tyler the Creator, who while they don't have songs together, maybe he performs a section of Sticky with a marching band, which would really make a lot of sense, and lean into a lot of different aspects that would fit the Super Bowl and what Kendrick is trying to do perfectly. And while some people think Kendrick could bring out somebody like Rihanna or even Taylor Swift, I don't think he's going to shift things too far from hip-hop, and I think if he does bring a superstar out, it will be somebody like Travis Scott up with him. And now I say this because we know Travis is in New Orleans and he has been doing Super Bowl events already, and beyond just that, he is a massive name, of course, who opens up a whole other side of hip-hop for the world to see, and Goosebumps would definitely be a big enough record that would work perfectly in this setting. And I also think out of everyone Kendrick could bring out, Travis being here would send the message to Drake that even he has chosen Kendrick's side, which just as we saw during Grammys night with Kendrick's outfit, while Kendrick will never diss Drake directly anymore because he does not need to do so, he is still sending him subtle signals that are telling Drake that it's over and he will never have the culture like he once wanted. And with Kendrick standing next to Travis, I think this would be a perfect reminder of everything he is trying to do. But now beyond the speculation and what could happen at this halftime show, which of course there are so many different things we may see, so please let me know your final predictions in the comments below. No matter what happens, it is 100% certain at this point that we are all about to see hip-hop history like never before. And no matter how Drake feels and what he has wanted to stop from happening, Kendrick is gonna get on that stage and show the world what hip-hop is about at its pinnacle. And because of this, as hip-hop fans, we can proudly say that it has never been a better time for what the future of this genre has to offer as a whole, because after Kendrick gets on that stage, who knows what doors he is going to open going forward. And this is why, at the end of the day, because of the new horizons and boundaries Kendrick is opening up, why there is no better person to lead hip-hop to the next level. And so now with all of this said, let me know, what do you think of Drake's last attempt to stop Kendrick Lamar and the halftime show? Of course how that failed, and what do you think is going to happen at this one-of-a-kind event? I seriously can't wait to see what your predictions are for what is about to be one of the greatest nights we all ever get to witness as rap fans. So from guest performers to set list to everything in between, please let me know what you think is going to happen at such a major event. Now, I can't wait to hear what you have to say, and if you made it to this point in the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And now, if you want to see how right before this, Drake has been getting so upset about Kendrick Lamar and the history he is about to make at the Super Bowl that he has been beefing with none other than DJ Khaled, check out the suggested video.